Hello, my YouTube friends. This is John at Left Handed Models, and this is my fourth entry into the Big Rig group build hosted by Jeff of Jeff's Model Garage. And I needed a semi truck to pull my last trailer, and I'm going to get started on it and get it done. So this is going to be my Big Rig, and it's a Mack truck AMT kit from Hobby Lobby, and I'm sure at 40% because I'm cheap. Let's see, retooled rear spoked wheels, 2 fuel tank options, expanded decal sheet with new cab stripes, which I probably won't use. I don't usually like cab stripes. It has CB radio and twin antennas, roof mounted air deflector, which is optional, authentic matte lack decals. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll be looking at it. And a Maxidyne turbocharged diesel engine. Let's see here. It is, let's see, it says over 280 parts. And that's probably because of all the options. And this is just some information on all the kit parts. But it does tell about the real engine and horsepower and things like that. Let's see, it's kit number AMT 1039/06. It shows you some of the other trucks. And I got it upside down. Oh, no, I don't. Now I do. It's upside down. We can't read it, but that's okay. If I remember right, there's a date on here, and it's not too old. It's 2020, so it's not a very old kit at all. It's got lots of parts. But see, there's the multiple gas tanks you have, and I noticed there's exhaust options and things like that. And so we'll take a look at it. And this is my second take on this video, so everything is unwrapped if it needs to be. Here's the 10 rubber/vinyl tires. Get my pointer out of the way. And the glass, and I noticed earlier on the instructions, it shows you which pieces you want to use of the lights. And it looks to me like, because this is not the first time I've noticed this, that they're just printing these just like this and including them all in the trucks so that they don't have to make sure they got exactly the right lights. And that way, if you lose one, you might have another one in the stash somewhere. And then we have the cab windows, which also have the side windows built in, and the headlights, the little clear headlights. And on the bottom, it did say molded in white, and their definition of white seems to change a little bit as time goes on. These are, hold still, like the shifter. That looks like an exhaust pipe for, that looks like under cab exhaust. Then these are frame pieces, and I'm not sure what that is, some kind of a brace. I'm pretty sure that's a frame piece, and this looks like an intake hose. So we'll see. The hood, one piece hood and front fenders, and very clean as far as the molding goes. Even the ejection pin marks aren't too bad. The cab then itself, and I looked earlier, there is a seam line that goes right up there, but other than that, there is no seam. It does have these parts here that look like an error. They are not. Those are the hood hold downs. Whenever you have a front flipping hood, you have to have some way of holding it down, and that's what these are. And I don't know why they molded them to the cab. Some of them have them as separate pieces, but this one doesn't. Frame rails, which don't really look to be straight, but they're both the same unstraight. So that probably means that they're supposed to be that way. We will see. A few chrome pieces. If you use the stack exhaust, you have a single, and so there's only one heat shield. There's the radiator, the headlights, the top lights, cab lights. These look like intake. This is probably the maxi thing it's talking about. No, because that was decals. This is not a decal. I can tell. So I will have to try to figure that out later. Then there's the seats, mirror parts, which are a multi-part mirror. Let's see, this should be a cab part or front fender part. The dash is in two pieces, and there's lots of other little things. And this looks like a separate brake lever. I don't know why they would. It's separate, but it is. Wheel backs, some wheel fronts. These are probably, I don't know, they might be centers or something. I'll see. I'm not really a semi guy, although my dad drove one forever. Okay, this is the stack, two pieces to the stack, the interior part of the radiator and the shroud. Those are probably parts of boxes that go on the side. That would be front suspension and tie rod, drive shaft. And then over here we have front bumper, of course, the front axle, air intake. Let's see, exhaust and intake manifolds, some routing hoses. Let's see, I found that before and I don't remember what it is. It's on the instructions though, I do know that. Oh, and this is the whole steering column, is this little part here. And I think this is part of the seat. Because a truck like this would have an air ride seat, because they do not ride smooth. This is one set of the fuel tanks, inner fenders for the under the hood. Let's see, part of an air tank, some kind of a bracing rod. That might be for like mud flaps or something, because it's really wide. And then some metal plate. Well, diamond plate that's supposed to look like metal. Come on, sit down. There we go. Okay, then we have the other fuel tanks, the round ones, another kind of a brace, and these are the mounts for the round tanks. Then we have some airbags, and these are differential pieces. And I'll show you on the instructions why I say differential pieces, because it's a little different from other trucks I've built. And then some equalizer shock things, some little tiny, so probably sensors or something, I think, if I remember right. Okay, then we have the inners for the wheels. I hope I'm in frame. Okay, now we have inners. We have springs. We have the differentials. We have the fifth wheel and the slider. And some kind of that's probably a torsion bar. And a short drive shaft. Sorry about that. I bet you didn't even know I was gone. I had a little bit of a cockpit. And then these are the wheels that go between the duals. And those might be a new part because they are a different white. And then here's the the air dam, engine sides, transmission, oil pan, the head. The mud flaps say Mac on them, actually. They're cute. They got the little bulldog. And then you have the engine front covers and, all the accessories that are driven by the crankshaft. And you have two 3-cylinder valve covers because the engine is essentially 2 3-cylinders. That's the way they're put together. And so they kept those separate. And I think there's something to do with maintenance, that if you maintain one side wears more than the other one, so you can maintain them separately. I'm pretty sure that's what it's for. There's the other part of the air tank and a half of a tube and part of a something box thing. Now the decals, they have this Baird, which is, I guess it's a company. It's Baird and Son out of Pennsylvania. I don't know. Oh, this is what they call the matte black decals. These are all the ICC numbers, Interstate Commerce Commission, that would go on the doors. And so it makes it easy for a enforcement officer to see that it's licensed in those states. And there's these little tiny decals. I'm not sure where they go. I'm sure it tells you. And then a nice Mac decal. Oh, and I forgot to show you somewhere there's the little bulldog is in the kit. And I think there's more than one, actually. Now, I want to go through this really quick. It is not like some of the other ones. The engine is pretty self-explanatory. It's usually they're not, one from the other is not that different. Only the painting, and it says assemble engine and paint K. So it wants everything painted K, which I'm not sure what K is yet, but I will find out. And then it has a left side view. So you would assemble both sides to get it before you paint it. This is the front wheels with the brake drums and the rears with those centers in them. And I don't know if most people know this, but before, and I'm not sure what the exact year is, but trucks did not have front brakes. It was deemed too dangerous to lock up the front brakes and not be able to steer. Well, once ABS came into use, that was not a problem anymore because the front tires wouldn't lock up. This is your frame rails, and this is that one part that I said was a frame piece. And that's calls this a trunnion shaft. I don't know what trunnion shaft really means, but I will find out someday. I'll probably have to look it up. And then this is the front suspension. Once you have the frame done, then you can do the front suspension. And those are anti-wheel locks. Those little things that I said that there was 3 of, they're anti-wheel locks. So essentially an anti-braking system. And this is why I talked about the rear ends, the differentials, because they point up, and then the differential gears go on here and are hooked to the engine. I don't know why, because the only thing this does, besides complicate things, is raise the drive shafts higher. I don't see a reasoning for that if it's unless it's an off-road truck. Then you might want to do that. But the front suspension is still standard, so I don't see how that would do any good. Engine to chassis. Those are battery boxes that were the littler boxes. The rear engine mounts mount to the engine, or at some point they do. Oh, now let's see. Yeah, I'll have to move this a little bit. This is it calls it chassis accessories. The big air tank, and that's a brace for the fuel tanks. Those are the square ones it shows, and it shows the round ones as optional. And the round ones have different brackets than the square ones, rectangular ones. So I don't know which I'll use yet. And then there's the interior, which is a whole page by itself. And where is that part? Yes, that part that I don't remember what it is usually is the steering column base. So I know that. Oh, and this is the part that's loose in the box is actually part of the heater. Huh. Where's the air conditioner? I live in Oklahoma. This little diagram here shows your lights to be used. So there are not a lot of lights used off of those two sprues. And it tells you red or amber. So you're covered there. Then you have cab accessories. And that's where things like the horn. Am I in the frame right? Yes. Sorry. The air cleaner, the mirrors, attaching the interior, and then that one part I said was a lower body panel. Two antennas that says location optional, and there's a horn, which is chrome, and then there's running lights, and it tells you to paint the lenses. And then there's the hood, which is essentially the hood with the inners, the Mac emblem, and the Bulldog and the Mac emblems, and the radiator shutters. It calls that's just the shutters. It's not the radiator. And then final assembly is just putting it all together, but it does show the two different mufflers, either an under cab one or the stack. I don't know, the stack shows up better, but on this one, it's not chrome. So I'll have to think about that. And K, the engine color, then is gold. Huh. Okay. A gold engine. So, thank you for watching. Please give me a like and a subscribe. In any of these, I'll try to do at least one update, if not two, on this because, excuse me, the green is not going to be green on the cab. It's probably going to be a different color, and I have a visitor, a little puppy dog, and so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.